Welcome back. Now to our next conversation. A new wave of startups, entrepreneurs, and developers are driving the next stage of Web3 innovation in Africa and across the globe. A new Web3 economy is giving rise to a myriad of opportunities with huge implications for the African continent. Join us now is Akash Agrawa, growth strategist, Web3 consultant, and CEO and founder MetaWorks. Join us right there from Delhi. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you so much, Larry. It's nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so first of all, tell us what is Web3 and why is it getting so much attention?
All right, great question, Larry. So actually, you know what, to understand Web3, so Web3 is the next iteration of the internet. So to really understand it, maybe we need to step back a little and look at, what Web 1 was or what Web 2 was. So Web 1 was basically early 1990s. It was just text. All you could do is go onto the internet and read some text and come back. It was in the early 2000s. That was when actually the current web or the current internet that started to come into existence. And what really happened at that point in time was the biggest change that happened was that users were able to upload content. So we went from a read-only kind of an internet. We went into read and write. And when that actually happened, we had a whole lot of other platforms come into existence. And they served a great purpose from an aggregation perspective and also from trust perspective. So when you talk of aggregation, it would be service aggregation, e-commerce, and all of that. And then also from a trust perspective, when you need to transact between two parties, they served a great purpose in terms of ensuring that the transactions actually happen, because you cannot trust some unknown folks on the other side of the world, transacting through the internet. But on the flip side, also what these platforms did was they extracted huge amount of rent. So the take rates typically could be in the range of 20 to 30%, whereas actually the people or the folks who were creating all of that content were not getting their dues. And so what now Web3 does is, so Web3 number one is like a catch-all phrase for everything blockchain, cryptocurrency, and NFTs. And what it actually does is that basically it removes the need for having centralized platforms. So basically, you can think of it as a network of computers, which runs on code and smart contracts, and which totally decentralizes everything. So any transaction that you would want to execute executes autonomously, depending upon whatever are the terms which are fed into that particular contract. It is permissionless. So I do not need any permission to get onto the internet. I do not have to go through any validations, verifications, credit rating scores, or all of that. So that becomes totally permissionless.
Right.
It is also trustless. So in the sense that I can transact with you tomorrow, I do not know you, and I have to buy some art from you. I can actually transact with you without knowing who you are, because the technology and the backend will ensure that you actually own that digital token or that digital asset. And I, on the other hand, actually own the actual cryptocurrency or the digital money, whatever is required to actually get into that transaction, and it will auto execute. So It eliminates the need for any platform. So that is the brilliant thing. So what it does is basically it gives ownership back to the creators. So that is why it is so important today. And because it is decentralized, it is also censorship resistant to a large extent. So nobody can come in and actually take ownership of my asset. It stays with me.
Very interesting, Akash. But what do you think are the prospects for adoption in Africa?
All right. So I think that Africa presents a brilliant case for a huge growth from here on. Actually, if you look at Africa as a continent, it has been to some extent excluded from the global transformation that we have seen. But if you look at it structurally from a political, economic, and a financial perspective, from what I have read is that about 50% of the adult population today is unbanked. About 60 to 70% of the economy is actually coming in from the informal segment. And this is where actually once you are able to, if those internal structures and those processes actually are not robust enough, then they become a barrier actually to the economic growth. And this is where actually Web3 steps in and creates those structures, including the native currency also of many of those blockchains. So it actually provides a complete infrastructure solution for people to actually, get onto the economy and then build on from there.
Okay.
So this is really what it does. And also, I'll step back and say that, I think Africa was one of the first ones to adopt mobile money. So M-Pesa, I think, came into existence in 2007 when most of the people were not even, or most of the countries were not even on digital tokens. So which also tells us that, people are already open. They have seen value in digital tokens or digital currencies, and this is the time to actually take it to the next level.
All right, Akash, thank you so much. We're watching to see how much adoption actually grows for Web3. Quite an interesting term there. Akash Grauer, founder, MetaWorks. It was great having your perspective.
Thank you so much, Ladi. It was a pleasure talking to you. And congratulations. I just saw about 4 billion transactions on the CBDC. So that's
Exactly.
really,
Thank
that's
you.
the proof, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Nice
All
to be
right,
here.
now. All right.